Hey, good afternoon, fam. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday to everybody. Happy Sunday to everybody. Listen, hopefully everybody's well today. Today, right, I want to share some information with you guys because a few days ago, I was having a back and forth with some people. As always, people always want to check my knowledge and how much I know. So I'm having some back and forth with people on social media, right? And obviously we're talking about certain things like finances. How you doing? We're talking about certain things like finances and home ownership and stuff like that, right? And somebody got on there and felt the need to tell me that, again, I don't know where people keep getting this from or why it's so stuck on them in reference to home ownership, right? Being the key to wealth. And give me a second, guys. It's like a concert going on around the corner here, so, or I believe just late now, so there's a lot of traffic. There's always a concert going on at the pavilion here, so it tends to be a lot of traffic. But the gentleman was telling me how home ownership is the key to wealth, and I keep talking about this, and I hope one day people will wake up about this, right? And home ownership is not the key to wealth. It never has been. Maybe when it first started, when homes were so low and interest rates were low, then yeah, maybe. But nowadays, when the average home is 400 something K, interest about 5, 6, 7%, no, there's no way that home ownership, can be the key to wealth. And I remember I did a video about probably 6, 7, 8 months ago in reference to the smart thing for people to do will be maybe rent something real reasonable, right? And then start to pour their money into investments or business, okay? Put more of your money. So let me explain to you what I mean. Let's say, for example, you're currently renting right now, and let's say your rent is $1,500. And then somebody got to you and tell you, hey, you should buy a home and this, because you're just giving money away to the landlord in this scenario. But if you buy a home, you're gonna own it, right? And now your monthly rent or whatever you lay your head now will probably go to $2,500 a month, right? Because typically when you buy a house, your mortgage is probably gonna be a little bit more in most cases, especially when you buy a house. There's certain things that you look for in that particular house, and spacing, and obviously if you're going to be there for 30 years or so, you're also looking at location and things like that, right? So your mortgage is probably going to go up. So I said to people, I said, listen, instead of you buying a house, if you know that you could afford the $2,500, right, and also that down payment that you was gonna put towards that house, why don't you throw it into an investment and then contribute that extra $1,000 a month into your investment? You're gonna get a better outcome, you understand, than you trying to go buy a house right now. You take your down payment, $50,000 down, and now you're paying $2,500 a month, right? In most cases, most people are not going to have room to be able to fund a proper retirement account or long-term investment account because all their money is going to a home. So this is the back and forth I was having with these people on social media, and they're going back and forth with me. Oh, you're trying to not let black people be wealthy and stuff like that. And I'm telling them, listen, you guys are playing the old game. So one person got on there and said, hey, well, you could buy an apartment unit and rent them out. And I'm like, listen, not everybody want to be a landlord. Not everybody want to be a landlord. And on top of that, it's not what you think it is. From renters don't want to pay, now you have to come out of pocket to pay them or that mortgage payment, okay? Plus currently where you're living at, to things breaking up, in that particular property. So it's not all that it's cracked up to be, right? And then the very next day, I saw an article from Forbes I saw an article from Forbes, right? And the title of the article states, millionaire renters have tripled since 2015. Let me repeat that for you one more time. Millionaire renters have tripled since 2015. Just 10 years ago. Okay? The amount of people, the amount of millionaires who are renting have now tripled. So it begs to ask the question, why would millionaire rent if you're trying to tell me that home ownership is the key to wealth? If you're trying to tell me that owning a home is the key to wealth, then why will millionaires be renting? Okay, let me read some of this stuff here. It says, home ownership is the one true goal for Americans seeking financial security. At least that's the advice handed out like candy at Halloween or beads at Mardi Gras. But in fact, many Americans choose to rent not because they can't afford to buy a home, but because they find renting to be advantageous. Okay? Listen, here's what I'm realizing. Most people right now cannot afford to save in their retirement account or their 401k because all their money is going into buying their homes. How do I know this? Again, because of the fact that I sit down with people every single day to start to plan for their long-term plan, how you doing, and their retirement, and I'm saying, hey, listen, how come you don't have any retirement savings? How come this? How come that? Right? And the first thing they tell me is, oh well, you know, my mortgage is this month, is this much, and then I gotta, you know, still eat and do this and do that, right? It always starts with my mortgage is this much. My mortgage is this much, okay? Which means that a lot of people are spending all their hard-earned money, you know, into their home, right? And how you doing? And they can't afford to save anything. They cannot afford to save anything because all their money is going into their mortgage payment. Okay? And I've been preaching about this, and I don't know why people don't get this. The average 401k right now in America is $128,000. The average 401k is $128,000. Nobody can retire off of that. Nobody. Okay? So, I wanted to take a moment just to share that with you guys, because a lot of people are going to be pushing you guys to buying homes. And you got to do the math. And the math, to me, is not math. By the time you put money down to buy the house, let's say $50,000, that's one, okay? Then you go from there to now paying a mortgage payment, which is more than what you was paying for rent. Okay, let's say in most cases an additional $1,000, an additional $1,500. I know some people who have mortgages for $3,000 a month. Okay, cool. Then you have that. Then, as a matter of fact, I know a few couples who are paying about $8,000 to $9,000 a month on mortgage payment because of the way they live at, how much the house is, obviously, right? People who are paying that amount of money for homes, okay, just to say they have a home. And then I sit down with them and try to sell them life insurance because they need mortgage protection, okay, or even an IUL structure for their retirement plan, and they simply tell me they cannot afford it, okay, because they're paying a $9,000 mortgage, okay. So they were sold on the home ownership situation. Buying a home, it make you relevant, but it's actually making you broke. Most people have minimal to no financial portfolio that are homeowners. Most people who are homeowners have minimal to no financial portfolio outside of their home. Okay, they don't have any money in any assets outside of their homes. Okay, so don't allow people to tell you that you should buy a house. To me, the smart things for you to do is this: if you know that you can afford a house, great, right? The smart thing you can do is, okay, I'm over here renting right now. The difference of what I will be paying, right, for a mortgage, I'm gonna throw that into an investment and allow that to make money for me. Okay, I'm gonna throw that into a IUR, for example, right? If think about it, and you guys can get with me on this, right? If you throw, let's say you're a high earner. Right? And you paying $2,000 a month right now for rent, and you know you can afford a $5,000 mortgage. You throw that $5,000 into an IUL, and let's say you're currently 40 years old, for example, right? And you do that now for the next 15 years of your life, you're a millionaire. Probably more than a millionaire. You get into a house, you will not be a millionaire doing that. You understand? So if you guys want to, because I like numbers. You can't just tell me anything. I need to see numbers, right? If you guys want to sit down with me and go over numbers, right? As to, hey, how this can work for you, instead of you now trying to go rush and trying to go buy a house or trying to go get a mortgage that you, in most cases, you probably can't afford, and not really the mortgage payment itself that you can't afford, is the things that could potentially happen with that house that you have to fix that end up screwing up a lot of people. The unexpected expenses is what end up screwing up a lot of people. Okay, it's usually not the mortgage payment, because a lot of people sacrifice a lot of things to pay that mortgage payment. But when that AC go out and you ain't expecting a $10,000, you're not expecting a $10,000 payment in the middle of summer. Okay, it's when the heating system goes out, and now these contractors want to take advantage of you because it's the dead of winter and you need your heat, and they charge you $10,000, $15,000 to fix your heating system, right? Things like that. Okay, the roof situation, the plumbing, all these things that could potentially happen is what kills a lot of people, and what a lot of people, did not anticipate. Okay, so I want to take a moment to share that with you guys today, right? Listen, my suggestion is this: it's a whole new world. It's not back in the day where they tell you to buy a house, and buying a house make you this and make you that. It's a whole new world. And most millionaires who I've sat down with, their biggest portfolio has never been from real estate. It's usually been from investments. Their biggest portfolio is, as a matter of fact, I don't think I've met, probably out of all the people that I've sat down with, maybe 10 may have been people that own like multiple properties. The rest of them, they got T. Rowe Price account, they got Fidelity accounts, they got big 401k statements. It was a guy who I met in Bethesda that had a whole life from like way back in 1990 that has about $1.3 million in there. Okay, and he's been living in the same house forever, right? He's been living in the same house forever, I think since the 90s, and that's the only house that he has. He's not a landlord. He don't have people renting his basement out, all that crazy stuff that they tell you to do. You understand? A lot of them were smart. Okay, I bought this house as a roof to put over my head. Okay, and I'm gonna now start to invest my money to make money for me. Because the thing with a house is this: it's not an investment. You're actually paying down a debt. That's what it is. It's not an asset. It's actually a debt. You're actually paying down a debt. And the only way, how you doing? And the only way, I got my little video going on. Say hi. So yeah, what concert you guys watching? What concert?
This is Bob Dylan, Willie Nelson.
Oh wow.
Pro.
Okay.
It's the Outlaw Music Festival.
Okay. That sounds
Willie
good.
Nelson is 94. Bob Dylan's like
Still
80.
performing in 94? Wow.
This is probably
His last one. I will assume so.
Yeah, and Dylan, you know.
Okay.
Bob Dylan.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
You have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
All
Bye,
right.
everybody.
So yeah, it's never been an asset. It's just a place to lay your head. You understand? And I think the smart people understands this. Okay? And you might hear, oh, well, millionaires have multiple properties. Yes, that they reside in. Not for rentals, not for like to make money off of. Okay? Millionaires have homes that they reside. Oprah has, I don't know how many homes, and she's not renting them out. Okay? That's where she stays when she's in town. Okay? LeBron James have home everywhere. That's where he stays when he's in town. Michael Jordan, all these guys, they have homes everywhere. They don't have them for rental property. They have them because, listen, when I'm in town, I don't want to be in a hotel. I want to have my own privacy. You understand? So don't let these people, especially these realtors, sell you on buying houses and things like that. Again, there's nothing wrong with owning a home. So I want you guys to be clear, okay? But just understand that it is not an investment. Okay, it is not an investment. It is a place to lay your head. That's what it is. All right. So listen, if you're new to my channel and it's your first time hearing me, okay, hey, please, I want to hear your thoughts. Okay, if you like what you're hearing, please subscribe to my channel and please hit the thumbs up button. And also, if you feel as though somebody else might need to hear this, please share this with them. All right. Other than that, hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed rest of your Sunday, and I will talk to y'all soon.